Hi guys, back with Bassingtons. Hope you're all keeping well. This is the second part of the Rolex vlog with regard to the marketing mix. I'm going to talk about people, process and physical evidence. So we'll start with the first P, which is people. I don't know anybody who is employed directly by Rolex. I've only dealt with people at the authorized dealerships. By and large, I found them to be absolutely fine to deal with and very knowledgeable. Although I have to admit, on occasions, I have witnessed snootiness, like that instance that I talked in the first part of the vlog where the guy was just laughed at. But I've experienced this on a first-hand experience. There was a friend of mine, she put a name down for a particular watch. It had arrived in, she wanted me to go with her, and she was very undecided on purchasing the watch. The watch was nothing like what she expected it to be. And their attitude was very snooty. It was almost as if they were doing her a favor in selling her this watch. How dare she question if the watch was suitable for her? So yes, I have experienced that. With regard to the people in the grey market, I by and large have found them to be even more knowledgeable about Rolex watches and Rolex as a brand. They really do know their stuff. It's not just the current product range, it's watches that are going back, 30, 40 years ago. And they really have a thorough knowledge and understanding on Rolex. So with regard to that, I don't think Rolex really has anything to worry about in that department with regard to the grey market and the people selling their watches. The next P is process. Well, you're meant to go into an authorized dealer and it's sort of credit card swipe and you come out feeling whiter than white. The reality is that doesn't happen. You're probably going to be searching on the internet, probably order online, and then a courier will arrive to your door. Not really exactly the luxury process that's involved with buying a watch, as well, such a prestigious brand, I should say, by Rolex, which leads me nicely on to the final P, physical evidence. These authorized dealers are, beautifully furnished. You sort of treated the 5-star treatment. Would you like a glass of champagne? And you're probably drinking it from the finest crystal it's served from as well. And it's good quality champagne. And it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the reality is that that's not going to happen because unless you're buying, say, the solid gold pieces or maybe some of the two-tone pieces, you're not going to be able to buy a Rolex watch unless you've got a long history from an authorized dealer. So invariably go to the grey market. Some of the grey market dealers are beautifully furnished. They are absolutely stunning and similar experience happens there. But equally, there's a lot of other watches being sold by the grey market. So for instance, at the start of this year in January, I was looking in at pawnbrokers and they had 24 Rolex watches in the window and they were all 2022 and 2023 models. I then walked in and you've got a tile floor and everybody is sat behind bulletproof glass. Not exactly the luxury shopping experience. What I will say, the people were lovely in that pawnbrokers. They couldn't have been more helpful and more polite. So big thumbs up to that. But as I say, it's not really the shopping experience. Similarly, ordering online, say through a platform like Chrono24, is not exactly the luxury shopping experience. And having a courier deliver the watch to the door, yeah, it's not exactly doing it. When you think of it, you're spending thousands upon thousands of pounds on a luxury watch. You expect it to come with all the trimmings, shall we say. So overall, from a marketing perspective, it doesn't look good from Rolex because I think, their watches are overpriced. I think the product range is a bit staid. The whole shopping experience is non-existent because you can't go to an authorized dealer and buy the watches. You end up buying online or through the grey market, and that's not really a luxury experience. And overall, it's not really good from a marketing perspective. Plus, the fact they've over-promoted their watches. I think it's a potentially a real recipe for disaster. And if you had this as a case study at a business school, you would say that this company was doomed to failure. Do I think that is going to happen? Absolutely not. Far from it. It's almost as if Rolex have destroyed the marketing rules. That's right, completely destroyed them. The demand for their product is still sky high. Yes, the crazy prices of them trading on the grey market, it's say 5 or 6 times the list price have long gone. But you go in to an authorized dealer and try and get a Rolex Submariner date at £9,000, and you've got zero chance of that happening. This brand is as strong as ever, and it will get even stronger over the coming years. They will have learnt the experience of their product ending up on the grey market, and they will be more determined than ever for that not to happen. I'm going to end by just this observation. I've got friends who are heavily into watches. I've got people who view this channel who are heavily into watches. And they're very anti-Rolex. They won't have a Rolex watch in their collection. And of course, what's happened is we've effectively had the crash on the grey market. And, a lot of the Rolex watches on the grey market are now being sold below list price. Similarly, as I've already touched on, you could go to an authorized dealer and you can get a solid gold piece or a two-tone piece across most model ranges. Probably even some of the steel pieces, say, within regard to the date, just are probably going to be available too. Anyway, these people who were just so anti-Rolex, not everyone, but a few of them, have said to me, I'm thinking about buying a Rolex. Stay tuned.